I had Miami in a parlay today, and it's not even. I mean, I got another parlay going just because I don't like any of the lines today. I hated all of them. What are you looking at?
I felt like something bit me. Sorry.
Oh, okay. I was like, oh, he's just saw something bad. I didn't like. So Lakers are -6.5 today, and they were at -7 at one point. It's like,
What changed?
I don't know. It does, probably enough people bet it. Enough Suns fans or enough people
flips
who
it.
aren't Lakers fans were like, oh, fuck yeah, that's easy money. That's the problem with being a Lakers fan right now, is the lines are so stupid for, like, it doesn't, why it's like obviously the Suns are going to cover that +7. It's like when the Clippers versus Mavericks happened game 1. I think they gave me +7. Like, of course I was.
What is the status of CP3?
He's starting.
Okay. All right.
You don't know what it's going to be. We don't know what's going to happen. I just think +7 or +6.5. That's easy money if you're like, the fact that I don't know who's not jamming down that line because it stayed at +6.5. Like, if I wasn't a Lakers fan, I would jump in on that. But I can't bet against my team.
Yeah.
I don't do that shit. Like, I've done that once or twice, not with the Lakers. I guess not with, I don't know who I've done it with. It just doesn't feel right. I don't like it because then you're essentially rooting against your team's interest.
You just need the Lakers to win by like 2 or 3.
What do you mean?
Because it's Lakers. Well, no, they're favorites, right?
Yeah, it's -6.5.
Sorry. So
I need the Lakers to win by 7 if I were to pick them to cover.
Yeah, there you go.
Which is why if you don't bet on the Lakers in this game, which is surprising. Which why
Phoenix?
The line hasn't dropped down at all. Yeah, against Phoenix. It's in LA.
Oh, that's right. So it's game 3. They don't have home. Yeah.
So which means there's enough people betting Lakers -6.5. There's enough fucking morons like me who looked at that line and thought, yeah, fuck yeah, Staples Center game 3, of course. It's like, no.
The Lakers, and it's only 4,000 fans.
The Lakers don't give a fuck about the fans.
Well, like, it changes like momentum at some point.
Sure, but what I'm saying is a LeBron. It's not like the Garden, right? Like the Garden.
But like it's that
last week,
I like that point that the arena matters, but you're talking about players that haven't played in front of fans in like a year.
Oh, that's a decent point.
So the big talking point on Dallas radio and Dallas media is the fact that the Mavericks are up 2-0 and they're going home.
Never seen Luka play a playoff game.
Yeah, exactly. They're going home to Dallas and they're welcoming in 18,000 people.
That's exciting for Dallas
compared to 4,000 at Staples.
Also, this 4,000 are all billionaires. I don't know if
they're like way up there. They're not like on floor level.
I don't know if you've ever seen Laker ticket prices, but it costs an arm and a leg.
Yep.
And now it costs an arm and a leg and $1 billion because it's like $700 to sit in the nosebleed section.
You have to like toggle through like the ownership percentage you want part of the Lakers to like buy your tickets.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, would you like 0.01% or 0.02%?
Exactly. I have to mortgage. I have to like go to a bank. You know what I mean? I have to like put in a second mortgage.
Which child are you willing to give up?
To
come just as for collateral.
Do you want to see LeBron James in the first round, or do you want to see LeBron James in the finals? Because if you want to see LeBron James in the finals, we're going to need some of your soul.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And like part of your beachfront property.
Yeah. Hey, this is Staples Center. Okay?
Yeah.
This isn't the Staples Center when the Clippers play. This is Staples Center when LeBron and the Lakers are playing. So will that be 2/3 of your soul? Like, yeah, like, let's relax.
And then they give you a little fucking rip-off token. Okay, your seat's over there.
It's just so funny because, you know, I've known some salesmen, some salespeople for, you know, both organizations, and I've met and talked to the owner or like the president of
Donald Sterling.
No, of the Lakers president of operations, and
you and Jeannie used to date, right?
Huh?
You and Jeannie used to date, right?
Yeah, me and Jeannie. I slid in the dims. Started with Linda Rambus, and then that's how you do it.
She was trying stand-up it like a couple of years ago, right?
Jeannie?
Yeah, she was trying to.
She was? She
went on Theo Vaughn's podcast and was like, and that's how they met, is that she was trying out stand-up. So she like reached out to him to like
That's so funny.
see how it would. I think she was taking a class
That's
at the
one.
Comedy Store.
That is for sure one of those things that at a networking event, or that is one of those things that like in the green room before she does her an event. She goes, I get so nervous at public speaking, and then the guy was like, "Do you?" Well, I took a stand-up comedy class and it helped me a
Yeah,
ton.
right. It's a very LA story.
Yeah, but
oh, what do you do? Oh, I own the Lakers. Okay.
yeah, you didn't notice.
All right.
You don't know who I am. I'm Jeannie Buss.
Yeah, I own Sunset Boulevard.
I started a tequila with Michael Jordan. My best friend is Linda Rambis.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we're just going, and I'm not even. But here we go. The NBA playoffs is obviously that's what we're going to start with. I just want to say it was the best of fans. It was the worst of fans. The Garden was popping. Trae Young got spit on. Kyrie and Marcus Smart called out Boston for being racist. Russell Westbrook got popcorned. I have a funny story about popcorning. And Dodger fans are dismantling Houston residents.
Welcome back, fans. It's good to see you in 2021.
Fans are back, babe.
Yeah.
Okay. Aside from the heavier stuff, which do we want to get into that now, or do we want to get into? Do you want to just do it now?
I like my dessert first, as The Rock said.
Perfect. So let's do the fun stuff. Dodgers fans are kicking Houston Astros fans' asses, and it's all on the internet. It's all on Twitter, and it's like Houston Astro fans don't realize that like the dudes that are willing to travel to Houston to watch a Dodger game, are very upset. They're extremely upset. Like this is like the energy to do you have any idea how angry you have to be to like buy a plane ticket, travel angrily on a plane, and never for a second think like this is dumb? No, it's like I'm gonna go to that fucking game and I'm gonna boo these motherfuckers.
Yeah, and they did strongly.
Of course, that person's willing to get into a fight.
They had like a mini parade through downtown Houston, saying like just Dodger blue everywhere, and everyone was like, "You guys are cheaters, you guys." And everyone's like taking pictures with trash cans and shit. It was great up until the beatings took place. I don't
condone violence. We don't condone violence,
of course.
We don't condone. I will say I don't condone it. Is finding it hilarious condoning it? I guess the silence is deafening. It does not. So it's one of those things where obviously you don't want somebody to get their ass kicked, but I don't know why it happened.
No, yeah, we don't know the backstory.
Yeah, I hope it's not like that one Padres fan who just went out and knocked out that old guy
in Colorado.
That was bananas.
That was nuts.
So the fans have made their presence known, whether they, motivate the New York Knickerbockers to a first playoff win since 2013. That game was so fucking fun to watch. Awesome. And it was, I really do think that the Knicks helped. I really just do think that the Knicks fan base really helped the Knicks win that game because the Knicks weren't playing that great in the first half. And
they willed them to a win.
And it's got to be fun to play the game you love and then to be in a rhythm and feel good. And then on top of that, have 18,000, 20,000 people, affirming that what you're doing is fantastic and awesome.
Well, it's like exactly what the city needed right after going through that whole COVID shit. Like it's nothing.
Yeah.
Going through COVID last spring. And now like they're finally getting vaccinated, the city. I mean, the residents of the city, and they finally can go out and do things. And what they're doing is they're going to these games or going to a bar. I mean, just type in Knicks on Twitter and you can see
so many videos.
All the fans, like there was fans that set up a TV outside of a bodega watching, like it was like 20 dudes all brought their own chair and just like sat on a corner watching that. There was a story. There was someone's tweet was like someone was wearing, I can't remember, like a Landry Fields jersey and riding his bike through like Brooklyn. And the guy was like, fuck yes, let's go. Like some random dude was like, fuck yes, let's go, walking his dog as he saw him. And he's like, let's fucking go. Like that was a story that I read on Twitter. Like the city is just, I mean, obviously we're not there, but from what I've heard on social media, the city is just like alive with the Knicks being good.
It's the most alive it's been like in a while because
Insanity.
I mean the Knicks for since 2013 the Knicks have been a laughing, and we should just get into Knicks and then we'll circle back around into Russell and the other playoff games, but the Knicks versus Trae Young is awesome. It is not. I didn't see that coming. I didn't see Trae Young being like, "Yeah, I'm just the villain. I'm gonna be a villain." And it's not quite Reggie Miller 2.0, but it's exactly what the first round needs, right?
Yeah.
It's I want Trae Young to like, because he said I'll see you in the A. I'll see you in the A. I don't know what Gucci Row. That's the courtside for Atlanta. That's what they call courtside in Atlanta. It's Gucci Row.
Is it really?
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Dude, going to a basketball game in Atlanta is unbelievable. I've never been, but I can just tell from the streams that I've seen.
Yeah.
The in-game experience is unreal. And Dominique Wilkins is awesome.
Interesting. My favorite part of that first game of that series, the Knicks Hawks, was when Trae Young was like, "Oh, it's real fucking quiet in here," and like put his finger up his mouth. That was amazing. I'm like, I like you.
Yes. I need you to keep being mean. I need him to come back to Madison Square Garden and, spit on the logo casually and wipe it down with your shoe, because you're trying to get that. I need him to nut tap Spike Lee. You know what I mean? I need him to get crazy. I want him to be like a world-class.
Don't hurt Spike, though. That guy's a traitor.
Don't hurt Spike. Don't like, but you know what I mean? Like, that's what I want. I want that kind of level of villainy. I want like Kingpin levels of villainy. I want him to hold the Big Apple hostage, and it will just be fun. Now, I'm a Knicks guy because they have Julius Randle. Like Laker fans, we can attest to this. Basically, the Knicks are now an extension of the Lakers. That's how we feel.
Yeah.
Because of Julius Randle. Same with the Pelicans and same with the Jazz. That's just how we are. We bled with these young guys, and now they're all, finding some success. And, and so to us, it's like, yeah, I'm going to root for the Knicks. No problem. Wherever Julius Randle goes, I'm going to root for him. I love that after they won, you saw the video where they were chanting, "We want Brooklyn," right?
No, there was fans were doing that, or
the fans. This is why I love. It's the most.
I heard them chanting "Fuck Jose Altuve," which was amazing. Also, I was like, okay,
fan base,
okay,
dude.
love it. I love it.
This is the most New York thing ever. Is to have the confidence that you can beat anyone, because in this city, if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. On top.
Oh my god! Can I tell you a real personal story, real quick?
Yeah.
That song, the remix was with Alicia Keys.
Yeah.
I went to New York for the first time in my life in 2016, and I was going through the subway through Brooklyn, going into Manhattan, and I played that song like as I came out of the tunnel in Brooklyn, and like forgot what bridge it was. New Yorkers would know this, but I think it was either the Brooklyn Bridge or the one directly south of it. It like goes into lower Manhattan.
George Washington.
I don't know what it's called, but you see the skyline of Manhattan, and like you see like Freedom Tower, and obviously now that it's there. And I had a moment because I was playing that song in my earbuds, and I was like looking on the skyline of Manhattan for the first time, and it was fucking magical. That song resonates so much. It's the perfect New York song, along with New York, New York by Frank Sinatra.
Yeah.
But that one, I mean, so I'm sorry to interrupt you there, but
no, you're good. That. No, it's great. And then a New Yorker grabbed you and was like, "We can tell you enough from here," gave you a wedgie and kicked you.
No, he was like, "Can you move, please?"
Yeah. Hey, asshole, get out of here.
Yeah.
So this, but like to do. Okay, so I have like two takes on this. One, this is a wild move from the Knicks fans that I absolutely love. This is like if I went up to Chris Hemsworth and was like, "Hey, let's figure out, let's compete over a girl. You go talk to a girl and I go talk to a girl. Let's see who she comes home with." Like, that's what it's like. I'm funnier. I'm schlubbier. He's taller, stronger.
You're funnier than Chris Hemsworth?
Yes. That
You
is.
saw Ragnarok, right?
Yeah. That was all Taiki Waititi. Okay, Taiki a rock carried that movie, and a green Bulbasaur
I'm
carried
gonna
that.
disagree with you on that.
Yeah, you can disagree all you want. I'm schlubbier. We can agree on schlubbier.
Okay.
Let's just agree on something.
Fair.
So that's what it's like. It's like going up to Chris Hemsworth and being like, "All right, dude, what do you?" He's like, "All right, mate, let's pick a girl then." And he's
going up to a chick and be like, "Dibs."
Yeah, it's like, "All right, let's compete for her." Like, oh, whatever.
Yeah.
Like it's. But I love it because it's a very New York thing to do. And because Knicks fans, they want to go into Brooklyn's arena, they want to boo.
Is that their next round opponent if they win?
I believe so. I don't even.
Well, if Brooklyn wins too.
Yeah, no. I think it's Philly.
So they have to get through a couple teams.
Yeah, they won't even get there. But if it were to happen, it would be so funny because all the Knicks fans would do is show up to Brooklyn. It would be like a USA versus Mexico game in the Rose Bowl. It would be 9-1 Brooklyn or 9-1 Knicks fans to every one Brooklyn fan. And all the Knicks fans would do is boo every single time, and it would be embarrassing to the Brooklyn Nets organization, and it would be hilarious. And the Brooklyn Nets wouldn't even care. Kyrie wouldn't care. Kevin Durant wouldn't care. Like, they all live in fucking Manhattan, and Kevin Durant lives in Brooklyn, so they wouldn't even give a fuck. It would just be a really funny. It would be a funny scene to see because it's something you don't really see unless you're at a Lakers Clippers game at a Clippers home game, which I've been to, and I was at the opening.
And the lights are on.
I was at the opening season opener last year of Lakers Clippers when it was Kawhi's first game, Anthony Davis' first game. Yeah. And that was 2019. And Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. It was like they did not expect that. They did not expect to be booed on their home opener. It was fantastic. It was good. It was like, yeah, dude, like nothing's gonna change for you. Nothing's.
By the way, you're right. The Philly Washington's their next matchup. They wouldn't face Brooklyn until the conference finals if they got there, which
they're not.
I ain't taking that bet.
They're gonna get eaten alive by Philadelphia.
Yeah, I do think they'll advance past Atlanta. I think, in all honesty, this is the best first round matchup of the NBA playoffs. This is like the most fun. Toss it in the air. We don't know what's going to happen kind of matchup.
Yes.
I would say the other 4 or 5 matchups going to be as exciting, but
we already know where that's going.
The Clippers don't look as confident.
They don't. Okay, yeah, they don't. They don't look. I got some for you. Okay, I'm going to the glasses. Okay, we're gonna stat this out. Okay, as the great
please.
Tony Kornheiser would say, let's go to the glasses. Luka in the playoffs versus regular season. Regular season, he averaged 25.7, which by the way it should be 26, but whatever. 25 points per game, 8 boards, and 7 assists while shooting 45% from the field and 33% from 3. Right now, this is the postseason. SCN. Okay, that's how. This is a dumb joke. Don't worry about it. Chris Hemsworth would have had a better joke. 32 points per game, 9.5 boards, 8.8 assists, shooting 50 and 38% from 3. Okay, and to shoot 38% from 3, going left, one-legged, is nuts.
A runner, essentially.
Basically a runner, and it seems like he practices that. And there's more. 69.5% effective field goal percentage as a team.
Nice.
The last 2 games. Okay, and if you don't know, it's the 6th highest ever recorded. And if you don't know what effective field, for those of you who don't know what effective field goal percentage is, it's just basically it's an adjustment for 3-pointers to adjust it for 2-pointers. So it's like shooting 69% for 2, but you're shooting 3s. But there's a value of 1.5 times more than a 2. It's complicated. Just know it's a very important stat. And they are shooting, and they shot the 6th highest ever recorded in a playoff game. Okay, all-time record is 76.2%. Funny enough, Game 6 of last year's series between the Clippers and the Mavericks by the Clippers. But that doesn't matter. It's just like a little fun fact. The Mavs are shooting 57.7% on uncontested 3s. They went 7 of 9 in the first half on Tuesday. The league average is about 38%, and they shot 57.7%.
Jesus Christ.
And their effective. Oh yeah, I already said what their effect. I already said what effective field goal percentage is. But that's just. It's over. It's done.
They're shooting it really, really well.
They're shooting really well. They're shooting at a level. If they shot this way the whole time, they would win the championship. That's just not going to happen. But.
Well, we said that about the 2011 team also.
Yeah, sure. Look at you. Look at you. Look at this. Look at this fandom come
I'm a homer,
to life.
man.
I like it.
The Clippers don't look good. They don't look confident. They look outcoached. They look outmatched defensively. Kawhi and PG were sold. PG Paul George were sold as like defensive stoppers. Patrick Beverley is supposed to be a bulldog at point guard. He's too fucking small, according to Luka Doncic. Kawhi tried to guard him 1v1 in game 2, put up 31, I think it was, in the first half, and then tired out. He puttered out. He got 11 points in the second half. Overall, that looks great in the box score, but if you're trying to be as effective as you were in the first half compared to the second half, it obviously didn't happen for him. And then Paul George had his moments late in the game, but didn't really matter at all. They just don't got the firepower, I think, right now, which is crazy to say. They have Paul George and Kawhi, and that's about it. I can't see anyone else. I think the Clippers do steal a game here in Dallas, whether it's the next one, game 3 or 4. Not sure, but I do think they grab at least one. But I still think it's Dallas in 6, maybe 5. So, and I don't know if we had mentioned this earlier, but in LA, Staples Center had 4,000 fans. Most of them may be Clippers fans, or people just trying to get out and watch a basketball game. In Dallas, you're gonna have 18,000 people watching this game in the American Airlines Arena.
They're definitely not winning game 3.
What's that?
They're definitely not winning game 3.
You don't think so?
No, there's no, because you're saying there's 18,000 fans. Luka's playing the way he's playing. They don't have any answers for Luka. They haven't played Luke Kennard. I don't know if they're going to play Luke Kennard.
Which is insane because they just signed him to like a $60 million deal over 4 years.
Yeah, but I think the bigger issue, though, is that they haven't found an answer for him all season long. They haven't figured out what they want to do with him all season long, and he shoots 45% from 3. Or he was at one point shooting 45% from 3. And it's one of those things where I look back as a Laker fan where I remember saying, just give Ty Lue the deal that he wants, and the Lakers were like, nah, we're gonna go with Frank Vogel.
Yeah,
what the fuck are you doing going with Frank Vogel and hiring Jason Kidd?
Everybody said that.
He's gonna try to take his job, and they were like, can you just please? Jeannie Buss was like, Jeannie texted me, and she was like, can you please, Daddy, please trust me? And I was like, all right, baby.
Yeah. Oh God. Oh boy, lawsuit coming in. I just don't see the Clippers winning this. The interesting thing, the thing more interesting to talk about with the Clippers is where does Kawhi go after this year, because considering his deal's up.
That is what's interesting.
That's another pod.
That's going to be, we're going to save that content for another day. Okay, so we did.
That's a two-parter.
Okay. So basically, it's two-parter. So basically, the inevitable is this, and after we watch the Jazz, after we watch the Nuggets, after we watch the Blazers, and even with Jamal Murray, the Nuggets aren't beating the Lakers. I think you can
disagree.
See, well, have you been watching them play at all these playoffs?
Yeah, they don't have their leader. Their emotional firepower.
Their leader.
That's their guy.
First of all, Jokic is their guy. Don't be disrespectful to Jokic.
He's the MVP candidate. Obviously, I think he wins it this year. But Murray is their spark plug. Murray is their energy. Murray is their ball handler.
Murray's impulsive. He's crazy. He'll throw a blowjob on Instagram Live. We already know this. That's do
the energy the world
needs.
He'll
set it off. That's right. He'll set it off. He'd be like, hey, guys, you guys need some inspiration? Check out my chick. But this is X. Oh, no. Well, when you throw her face on Instagram Live, it's gonna get tricky. I just think it'd just be pointless to go over that conversation because it's a what if scenario. But the Lakers, I think it's clear after watching all these teams play, the Lakers seem to be the team that's going to be coming out of the West, and then facing off against
I mean,
and Milwaukee.
right now it looks like Dallas, LA in the conference finals.
It looks like it's going to be Dallas, LA in the conference finals, which will be
which
interesting.
Is always a good game. Always.
Which will be interesting because I'm curious what's going to happen. I mean, I don't know. No one can stop Luka. You just can't stop him. Luka's once in a generation. And I know Atlanta still isn't going to say, hey, we made the right – like Atlanta's still going to be like, we never made the wrong trade. But at the time, I always thought it was stupid. It was a stupid fucking trade.
Yeah, 3 teams fucked up.
Yeah.
Phoenix, Sacramento, and Atlanta.
Yeah. And the whole time I remember thinking this is nuts. Like, because if I knew he was an MVP, he won an MVP 2 years into the league as an 18-year-old or his third year, whatever it was. The other guys did too. It was just sometimes people.
Everyone I followed, and I'll give this. I hate giving this a shout out to this website, but the Ringer was huge on Luka. Everyone, at the Ringer was mocking Luka as the number 1 pick.
We stand with the Ringer Union though.
Yes. Was it Ayton went 1, and then I can't remember who went second to Sacramento. The kid out of Duke from LA.
Bagley.
There you go, Marvin. And then those 2 guys are okay, but imagine Phoenix right now with Luka.
Yeah, DeAndre. I mean, Devin Booker and Luka together. I mean, obviously Luka's the better player than Devin Booker.
Yeah.
It would just. I mean, it would be they would be the number 1 seed.
They were, but like it would have been even like they would have already won something by now.
Yeah,
right?
they would have. It would have been ridiculous, but we'll see as time goes by. But it just looks like the inevitable LeBron James once again, proving that to me that he's the greatest of all time. But you want to do some Julio Jones stuff?
Well, I was just gonna say one of my favorite moments so far in the NBA playoffs was Obi Toppin's mom getting emotional when they were screaming Obi's name at the Garden when he, threw down an alley-oop. And I thought that was pretty cool. That's kind of like one of the moments in sports where you just completely live for.
Oh, yeah.
I found myself getting a little emotional watching that. I'm like, fuck, man, that's cool.
He's a lifelong Knicks fan. They're from.
Lifelong Knicks fan. He's playing a playoff game since probably he was in his first, the Knicks' first playoff game since he was in middle school?
Middle school, yeah.
And his mom was there and they were screaming his name. And it's not like a popular name, right? Like it's not like Jason, right? Or whatever.
Yeah.
It's Obi. It's cool. It's just so obviously what they're talking about him.
Ain't no stopping Obi Toppin.
And it was great, man. I just thought I need more of that shit. Pour that shit in and feed it to me because I love that.
Yeah, that's some Hall of Fame stuff. That's some Hall of Fame goodness.
Yeah. No matter how his career ends or whatever he does in the world of basketball, that moment will always belong to him and his mom, and that will always be the coolest shit that he's ever,
Yeah, in the Garden.
Up until this point, at least.
Yeah, there's gonna be moments where he's shown his kids that,
Oh, yeah.
It's just cool.
Yeah.
It's just very, very
I'd buy the NFT of that. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, the NFT of the mom crying.
Yeah.
Okay, so before we actually get into Julio Jones, Kyrie mentioned that he's going to go, that hopefully nothing racist is said in Boston. And then they asked him to clarify if he's ever, if anyone's ever said anything to him. He said he hasn't. He put his arms up. He said, but people have told me, I've heard, and people can attest to, that people have heard racist stuff. And then to which Danny Ainge responded, in my 26 years at the Boston Celtics organization, no player has ever told me that. And later on, there was a tweet where Marcus Smart, and even Marcus Smart wrote an article about it in the Players Tribune about how it had happened to him. And he said, it's sad and sickening. I've heard it. It sucks to try to play for another team. He was called the N-word while somebody's wearing a Thomas jersey holding her baby. And he was driving after the game. He's heard people say things to other players. He says it's really difficult to try to play for the team. And it's just unfortunate that, it's just weird. It's Danny Ainge is a fucking moron for trying to play PR. For a fact.
He's the whitest guy in the world.
He knows for a fact that that's been said. Like, that's crazy.
It's Boston, man.
It's fucking Boston.
There was a flag draped by a fan from atop the green monster at Fenway.
Yeah, Andrew Jones.
Well, did you see the flag, the actual flag that was draped down?
No.
It said, "Racism is as American as baseball." And that was a couple of years ago. And so, yeah, Boston, you're a racist city. What do you want us to say?
Everyone knows Boston's a racist city.
Yeah.
That's the brand. Like, it's bank robberies and racism.
They love Gordon Hayward.
Yeah, they love Gordon Hayward. Like, that's the thing. Samuel Adams beer, racism, bank robberies.
And the Red Sox were like the last team to integrate in Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
So
Bill Russell wouldn't even share. He had a close ceremony for my favorite athlete of all time, the great Bill Russell, had a close ceremony for the Hall of Fame. Like, granted, it was the 50s and the 60s, but, you know, Andrew Jones a few years ago was called the N-word, and other players have been called the N-word. You know, it's fucking
Adam Jones.
Adam Jones, excuse me. Andrew Jones. Who's Andrew Jones? He was center fielder for the Braves, wasn't he?
Yeah, Braves were center fielder for a while.
But you, like, it's not, and it's not something that is known in Philly, who's also like a tough, gritty town. It's not something that's known in
probably the worst sports fans of all time.
What does that say? The worst sports fans of all time who threw batteries at Santa Claus, who puked on little kids. Still don't say the N-word. It's just I don't know. It's unfortunate. And he's gonna get booed, and like there's gonna be a lot of there's gonna be a whole thing on Twitter about it. But even though like they're gonna say that it was for something else, but part of him getting booed is gonna be because of this. Like, Boston hates Kyrie. I mean, I'm not a big Kyrie guy, but
well, remember this: like, his dad went to either Boston College or Boston University to play basketball, and was like he loved the city, and so that's why when he was traded to Boston from Cleveland, he wore his dad's number, I think it was, and like was like seeking to like really enjoy Boston, and told the fans, "I'll be here as long as you have me," and then like 9 months later, he was like, "I want out."
Yeah.
So like something went wrong there. So I don't know what it was, but I think we can kind of look into, read between the lines now.
I mean, I don't necessarily know if it is that, because I just think it's just like, I've been there. It's beautiful, but I also think it's just, there's just a lot of white people.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's part of it. Like, Kyrie is clearly into his roots. He's clearly into different cultures, and I'm sure that's why New York, same with Kevin Durant, is so much fun for him, because he gets to really, it's like it's the greatest city in the world. You get Ethiopian food around the corner that you can get Greek food.
Yeah.
And on the same block that you can get, fucking, Peking duck or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have to tell everyone how great New York City is, obviously.
Yeah, but my point is, I think that's like, that's part of it. In Boston, it's like, oh, there's a great pizza place there, and there's a great Italian place,
but don't go over here.
Yeah, and you could also hear somebody talk about business school there. You know what I mean? Like, I just feel like, and I'm not trying to, like, I don't know enough about Boston to be able to say that, but I do think the little time I've spent there, it's not fucking New York City, even though it's prettier.
That's a small town, yeah.
It's just, but and also I think so Trae Young got spit on. This is the worst of fans. Trae Young got spit on. Russell Westbrook got popcorned on. If Russell Westbrook got spit on, we would have had a mouth in the palace. He would have, and I would have had no qualms about it. I would have no qualms about it. You spit on somebody, you should get your ass kicked.
Russell Westbrook was about to go into the stands, but he had like 6 people saying, "Dude, chill." And like, to his credit, he chilled in like 10 seconds.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm good. And then like one of the security guards went up there, but yeah, man, what the fuck are we doing? I heard that person who spilled the popcorn on him was a Celtics fan.
No,
he was wearing a Celtics jersey,
which is so dumb.
They were like, "What the fuck are you doing at a 76ers Wizards game?"
Also,
So
you hate Philly, so why would you throw popcorn on? Like none of it makes sense. He's wearing a Celtics jersey. That's so stupid and funny.
yeah, let me. I want to see what number it was.
That's hilarious if it was a Kyrie Irving jersey. Be ironic.
Yeah, that would hilarious.
So we have, while John's looking up the photo of the player wearing the uniform, I think we should do a thing where, and I think I've heard it before. I think Dan Katz said it before, and so I'm gonna piggy off the take. But I agree with the take. If you do something, like if you spit on Trae Young, if Trae Young felt that, I don't know if he felt that. I don't know. Like I was watching Trae Young, and I was like looking at like if he felt anything or not. He seemed to not feel anything. If he turned around, or if like they stopped the game and they just allowed him to go to center court and be like, okay, now you have to get your ass whooped, I don't think anybody would mind. I think we'd be like, fuck yeah, like get your ass whooped. It's just bonkers. It's just a piece of shit move. It's a piece of shit move. And throwing popcorn on somebody, that's just fucking whack and lame. And you're a piece of shit too. Like that's just a piece of shit move too.
This is related to that. So I couldn't find the picture, but it was a tweet that I saw. So hopefully that's correct. If not, I apologize. But also saw earlier today that the fan who threw the N-word at Westbrook in Utah, like in 2019 or 2018.
Yeah, I remember that.
Had filed a lawsuit against him and the team, the Jazz, for $100 million for like emotional distress. It was thrown out by a judge this week.
Good.
So
fucking asshole.
Fuck that guy.
Fuck him. All right. So fans suck and fans are also good. That's just like just people, I guess. That's what we've learned from this again. But it's good to see the Garden pumping. So Julio Jones, the greatest receiver of his generation, is most likely 99% chance.
Is this
good.
generation considered like part of Megatron's generation?
No.
Okay, next generation.
And
Post Megatron.
Even if you put Julio Jones and Megatron together.
Sir.
Taking Julio.
Post Megatron? Yes.
Like if you put Julio and Calvin, it's.
You want me to pull stats?
Yeah, you could pull stats. That doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like Julio Jones is a better route runner. Like
who got the job done?
Huh?
Who got the job done?
Who got the team? Who got a team to a Super Bowl?
Cole Beasley's a really good route runner, but is Des Bryant the better receiver?
He's better because he's bigger. Yeah.
Well, okay, then he was a better receiver though.
How much? But Des Bryant is 6'3". Cole Beasley's 5'8". Julio Jones is 6'3".
That's all that matters.
Calvin Johnson is 6'5".
Player. It doesn't.
Don't be a heightist, John.
Who gives a shit if you run route better?
Talk to Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown made the Hall of Fame.
Desean Jackson's the best deep receiver the NFL's ever seen, and he's run one route.
He's not. Randy Moss is. Randy Moss is a better deep route runner than Desean Jackson. Don't do this, John. John, are you saying, John? Are you saying that Randy Moss is not a better deep threat than Desean Jackson?
This is why people still want Desean Jackson, and Randy Moss couldn't find a taker in the league. The Patriots cut him, and he cried.
John, where's Randy Moss ranked in your receiver rankings all time?
Oh, he's up there. He's top 5. But Desean Jackson did one thing better than he did.
Do you have him?
And that was deep route running.
But do you just have him at 5?
He's top 5.
I'm talking to you like I think you just murdered somebody.
He's top 5. Yeah, I have to look into it, to be honest with you, but he's top 5 for sure.
John, I'm questioning your receiver knowledge.
Do what you got to do.
You think Desean? Do what you got to do. I'm launching an investigation. There will be people coming to your home to drug test you.
Bookmark this for a segment in the future.
This is Lakers are down by 2. This is. I don't know if incredulous is the right word, but it feels appropriate. Randy Moss is a better deep route runner than Desean Jackson. Randy Moss is arguably the greatest receiver of all time. Randy Moss is better than Calvin Johnson.
He also happened to
not have any good quarterbacks ever
play with the best quarterback.
Tom Brady for one season.
Oh my god!
For one season,
the best quarterback of all time
for one season.
Desean Jackson played with Kevin Cobb.
Randy Moss played with fucking Dante Culpepper.
It was good.
Get the fuck out of here.
Until he went to Miami.
I've never heard anybody under. Yeah, you're learning about Randy Moss now, aren't you?
No, I'm looking at the stats of our previous argument. Julio's got 10 seasons in the NFL, and he's got, let's see, how many yards? 12,000. Let's say 12,800.
Yeah, almost 1,300. I did know that.
Yeah, and so Calvin has played about, let's see, 1, 2, 3,
8
4,
seasons,
5,
I believe,
6.
7.
Yeah, 8. And he's got just shy of 12,000.
Yeah.
So that would be Calvin win there. Touchdowns.
Well, no, because Julio Jones has more, John.
No. But like Calvin doesn't have as many seasons.
No. But that's not what we're playing. We're not playing that. We're playing who has more.
No. We obviously know the Detroit Lions cannot keep their players from retiring early in their career.
I don't know what I mean. What now? We're just adding context. Imagine adding context.
Oh my God! Look at the touchdowns. 83 touchdowns for Calvin Johnson.
Yeah.
Guess for Julio.
67.
60.
Yeah, I know my guy.
Yikes.
Yeah,
that's not good.
Calvin Johnson is a freak.
Yeah, he's better than Julio.
You're splitting hairs. It's not like you're arguing whether or not
Julio came in 4 years after Calvin did. Calvin 2007, Julio 2011.
There's a ton of stats that you can look at in analytics that show how like Larry Fitzgerald
has two first team
all best to ever do it.
Julio has 2 first team all pros. Calvin has 3.
That's it's all a bunch of nonsense and malarkey. The fucking first team all shit. That's just a different thing. But listen, do you respect Larry Fitzgerald?
Of course.
Larry Fitzgerald said he's.
I think we've stated literally all the names in the top 5 right there.
Yeah, we have, except for
Larry, Julio, Calvin, Randy,
Antonio Brown.
Jerry.
You can put him.
Antonio Brown, is that what you just said?
Yeah, he's in the top 10. He's like top 7 all time.
Just because I don't like him, I'm going to say no.
That's fine.
I haven't looked into it.
Adding that caveat works with me because I don't like him either.
Yeah, he's a dick.
But Larry Fitzgerald quoted AJ Brown. You know what? AJ Brown wore an 11 jersey for warm-ups. Yeah. AJ Brown,
smart kid.
AJ Brown wouldn't even pick up another player's laundry as a rookie for the Tennessee Titans. He was one of the rookies that was like, nah, you're not going to sun me. And he didn't get sunned. And he wore another man's jersey during warm-ups just to pay homage. Larry Fitzgerald said he's the greatest to ever do it in terms of everything: precision, speed, timing, hands, every single thing. Calvin Johnson's the better home run hitter. But from top to bottom, it's like, would you rather have Michael Jordan or would you rather have LeBron James?
Like for a career? Like starting at point blank and then on? LeBron.
That's Julio Jones. Michael Jordan is Calvin Johnson. Michael Jordan is Randy Moss. Oof. Jerry Rice is LeBron James as well.
Sure.
That's what I'm just trying to like all the things: passing, playmaking, all those things. Like those little, what do you call that graph that's got like 5 points?
Yeah. No, I know what you're saying.
Yeah. Julio and Randy Moss is way more filled than Calvin and who's the other guy you mentioned? And Michael Jordan's. Even though Michael Jordan's obviously like, but you see what I'm saying? Like that to me is what I'm saying. It's like Julio can do everything from short, intermediate, deep, snatch, the route tree. Like every single route is crisp. You don't know where he's gonna go. You don't know, like, it's just he's just the better overall, more skilled receiver. He's the more skilled receiver. Calvin Johnson may be the more impactful receiver, but Julio Jones is the more skilled receiver. Julio Jones may be the greatest receiver. Like no one's gonna say over Randy Moss or Jerry Rice because he doesn't have the numbers. But like in terms of who like receivers respect the most, he's in that echelon. He's a top 5er.
I'm gonna say this right now.
Yeah.
Desean Jackson has 4 touchdowns right now, over 80 yards.
Yeah.
Guess how many Randy Moss has?
12. 15.
Un.
Huh?
1.
Oh, 1? Over 80
yards.
yards? So when the ball's traveling in the air, 80 yards?
No. Longest touchdown.
It was 80. Oh.
82 yards. Desean has 4 of those.
But do you still think Desean Jackson's a better deep threat than Randy Moss?
He had one at 24 at 91 yards, and he had one last year at 34 at 81 yards. The kid is still doing it.
Have you ever seen the Thanksgiving game?
He's a one-trick pony, and the trick is very fucking good.
I don't know. I think Randy Moss is. I mean, I don't know. I don't even.
Randy Moss made me cry on Thanksgiving.
Good. I'm glad. I'm glad now.
So
now
I have the utmost respect for Randy Moss.
You know what I wish I could do is go back in time and watch that game with you. Now, it's my favorite position you're talking about.
So dark. The longest
so
rush.
dark. I didn't even mean it, John.
The longest rush
I just knew it would sound funny.
Randy Moss's career is 25 yards. The longest rush of Desean Jackson's career is 67 yards.
So Desean Jackson's the better rusher too. Better runner.
Well, obviously, yeah.
So Deshaun Watson's the better runner and better deep threat.
I mean, we better stop this before you tell me Andy Reid or what is it, Dennis Smith? What is his? Not Dennis Smith. Dennis
Johnson.
No.
Denny Green. Dennis
Green. R.I.P. Denny Green.
Yeah, that was one of my guys.
Yeah, he was the best.
He was awesome.
But yeah, so
they were.
Julio. Back to our original point.
Yeah.
Is leaving Atlanta. He's gone. As
gone.
He said on Undisputed with Shannon Sharpe.
I'm out there.
Yeah. Do you think that was planned?
Snow Country. I don't know if it was planned. I watched a couple different times, and it'd be surprising. I think Shannon Sharpe was like, "Hey, I'm going to call you on the show. So if you don't want to talk, don't answer. But I'm going to call you when I'm on the show." I think maybe that happened.
Mina Kimes mentioned that it's most likely staged because Julio didn't cuss.
Yeah, and Julio's a big cusser, huh?
Well, I don't know. I don't know him at all, but I think that when you're talking to a homie, like me and you cuss all the time off air.
Yeah.
F this, F that, S-bomb, F-bomb. You know, you're throwing N-bombs left and right. Like, it happens, right?
That's right. That's right.
So, I mean, once the tape stops, it rolls. So I think if Shannon's just calling him and he's a homie, you know, he's going to throw some shit out there. But he didn't, which makes me think it's scripted. Not scripted, but he gave him a heads up, like you mentioned.
I think he gave him a heads up because I think, and we'll find out too, because the NFL or Fox might have to put out a statement. You know, it's going to make whatever.
He pretty much was just like, bad. Come speak your piece. We'll pretend like it's, you know, it's fake or real content, or whatever.
Okay. So there are it's very interesting because this is, once again, I'm starting to get nervous as a Niners fan because here's why. Everything is pointing towards the Niners getting Julio Jones and having a real shot at winning the Super Bowl, which only tells me instinctually that my heart's going to break and everything's going to go bad. I know that going in now because the two places to me that make the most sense in terms of everything, because the issue is like there's three things that need to happen here. Salary needs to work. You need to offload some of the salary, which is part of the reason Atlanta's doing this. You need to go to a team that has some form of cap space, even though contracts are finicky and weird. You need some form of like a second rounder or a conditional second rounder that can turn into a first rounder, and you need a player or you need another pick. And there's not a lot of teams that can do that or maybe want to do that because a lot of teams are maybe ageist. And Julio Jones is like the Anthony Davis of the NFL.
He's 32.
He gets dinged up every season.
Yeah, he does.
Gets dinged up.
So his base salary for this upcoming year is
15 million.
15.3.
Yeah.
Signing bonus of 5. And so his cap hit will be 23.
Mm-hmm.
So I pretty much solved this in my head based off the numbers, just looking at the spreadsheet.
What do you got?
Pre June 1st release, which is in a couple days on Tuesday,
Yeah.
June 1st. Pre June 1st release, $40 million cap hit for the Falcons. If they released him before Tuesday.
Yeah, they're not releasing
If they trade him before Tuesday, it's $23.25 million. If they release him post June 1st, $25 million.
They will not release him.
If they trade him post June 1st, 7.7.
And which is why they're trading him after June 1st.
They're trading him for sure.
But they still
after Tuesday.
And they're negotiating, and they do that thing now where they agree on principle and they'll get the trade done after June 1st. But you still need somebody to
play ball,
to pay at least $11 million. You want somebody to pay at least $11 million. You'll take $10 million, which lucky for the Niners, they have an $11 million cap space. They have $11 million in the cap. Unfortunate for the Tennessee Titans, they have $3 million. Who's the other team that could make the deal by giving a linebacker, Rashaan Evans, so they could do that. Unfortunately, they don't have the cap space because it's $3 million.
Well, let's think. Let's look. What's the timeline for him? 32. He needs to be productive the next 2-3 years.
Yeah, which is a 3-year deal.
So you're looking to win now.
Yeah.
Who is ready to win now?
Tennessee, San Francisco.
I don't know why the fuck people said Dallas. Well, there's no
Dallas
way.
is not happening.
There's no room.
He didn't even want to go to Dallas.
Yeah, and he shouldn't because he'd be the fourth receiver.
Yeah. Who are the other teams?
They put him at tight end.
You have teams that are ready to win now. You could argue that Washington is ready to win now because they have a really good defense. They got Fitzpatrick, and they're probably going to win that division. You could argue the Colts, but they have 3 guys they need to extend. And I don't know, they're going to want one of those guys. So I think the Colts are.
They got to figure out if Carson Wentz is the guy first.
Yeah, I mean, if they protect him, they'll know what I see. When you look at the Colts, I think the Colts are, what do you call that? A long shot, dark horse. Dark horse. So the Colts are dark horse. You can argue. I mean, the Cardinals have $13 million.
That division's wide open with the Jaguars expecting it to be terrible.
Yeah,
Deshaun Watson's probably going to prison.
Yeah, Yeah, I mean, I haven't read into it enough, but I believe you. So the Cardinals, the Cardinals could be a dark horse. They got $13 million in cap space. I don't know who they're trying to get. So you got the Cardinals, Colts. You could the Dolphins have $8 million. It's tough. They don't have enough. You got to make some shit work. You got to restructure deals. So it really comes down to. But what can the Cardinals have? What are their picks? I don't know.
I think the Falcons want it to be San Francisco and Arizona so they can leverage each other.
Yeah, which they're willing to negotiate. Niners have $17 million in cap space, and they have enough where they can restructure.
Jimmy G, see ya.
They don't even have to do that. They can make it all work. They have to restructure 3. Like, that's why John Lynch and the Niners are the best in the NFC. Like, they can keep Jimmy G, they can get Julio Jones, and extend Fred Warner. They can do all that.
Oof. Fred, you got to keep Fred.
No, he's gonna get extended. He's getting a max deal.
Good for him.
So
I think the odds-on favorite here has to be San Francisco.
San Francisco and then Arizona.
Yeah.
You could argue Tennessee, but they don't have enough cap space, and you have to.
I mean, if he goes to San Francisco, then you got to say goodbye to Rodgers.
What? Aaron Rodgers? Oh yeah, he's gone. There's no shot, Aaron Rodgers. By the way, I'm done with Aaron Rodgers. I think. I don't think I would like Aaron Rodgers after watching Aaron Rodgers interact on the internet with Miles Teller and Shailene Woodley.
You don't like him because of that?
Yeah, that's enough for me.
You're good on that.
I can tell.
He's like 2 years older than us. You know that, right?
Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah, he's like 33, 34.
Yo, Aaron Rodgers is 37 years old.
No, he's not.
Yeah.
Fuck off. He's like
went to
35.
Cal. He graduated college in like 2004.
Googling it right now.
He's about to turn 38.
Damn it, you're right. 37.
Yeah.
That is weird then, yeah.
Not even, I mean, it's not even, I don't even.
You know what I'm thinking? Miles Teller's our age. That's what it is.
Miles Teller is our age. I know a guy. I went to high school with his brother-in-law.
His wife's brother?
I guess technically his wife's sister's husband.
Oh my god, what a fucking pull. His wife's sister's husband.
Yeah, I went to high school with his wife's sister's
It's
husband.
embarrassing that you would even pull that out.
No. I'm not even. Hey, don't do that to me. Don't do that to me. I know one of my good buddies was one of his groomsmen.
I'm sorry, everybody.
And was a groomsman.
Brian's
Teller. Don't do this. I don't even. Hey, I don't
say that, John, but don't explain it.
Newsflash, John. I don't even want to be 3 degrees away from Miles Teller. Is that a footloose joke?
I like
Miles Maybe Teller. That was a footloose joke. Maybe it was a footloose cut.
So 2 guys married into a family, and you're claiming that you know one of those guys.
I know. I went to high school with the guy that married the sister of Miles Teller's. Are we not getting this?
Do you know how ridiculous that sounds?
No. Listen, let me paint the picture for you. So I went to high school.
I got it.
No, hold on. Let me do it. I went to high school with this guy. He married this girl. Her sister met some guy. Happened to be Miles Teller. They got married. I know the guy that knows Miles Teller. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I've also been to a bar Miles Teller's been to before. Just FYI. It's like
it's not the same. It's not the same, John.
So it's almost the same thing.
It basically is, though, when you break it down.
Where he got arrested too, Shore Club.
I'm not a Miles Teller guy. But
it's weird because he's a big Eagles fan.
And it's weird because we're basically best friends, but doesn't return my texts. We're in the same group chat.
Yeah, you and Jeannie.
Asked him to come on. He was like, sorry, dude, I can't, dude. Gotta watch this Philly game, dude. Okay.
So Julio's going to San Francisco is pretty much what we're saying.
Most likely, which once again, like I said, gives me pause, makes me scared because when you have expectations in the NFL, unless you're the Patriots, or the Chiefs, they don't turn out the way you think they should because everyone gets injured, and it's a catastrophe. So let's move on to this weekend.
One question.
What's up?
What's the depth chart receiver for the Niners if this happens?
It's pretty good. So you'd have Brandon Ayuk, Deebo Samuel, Julio Jones. Trent Taylor's already gone. You'd still have Richie James Jr., and then you'd have – I'm trying to remember Jalen Hurd.
So out of those 4 or 5 you just listed, which 2 are going to tear their ACL?
Julio Jones, Brandon Ayuk.
You need to be emotionally ready for this when it happens.
Julio Jones, Brandon Ayuk, Jalen Hurd, maybe Mohamed Sanu, and
there's no way he's there. Is he really there?
Yeah, he's hanging out there. Yeah.
Jesus.
We're just a well-run organization. All right, so let's do this weekend. So Champions League, it's super exciting because it's the Champions League before a big international tournament, which is always my favorite because it's something we talk about. We're going to eventually talk about the Euros and the rosters and what we think about them. So Man City versus Chelsea, which I called because I feel good about it. Anybody could have called that watching any of those teams play in the the third round or before the semis. So I think Man City is going to win 3-2. I already got money on Man City. I don't expect a lot of the same theatrics that saved Man City against PSG. So I think it's going to be like a 3-2 game. I think they're going to play the ball enough around, and they're going to have opportunities, and they're going to capitalize on those opportunities. I think that's what's going to happen.
So you don't think third time's a charm for Chelsea? Chelsea has won the last 2 matches against City.
Mm-hmm.
In the semifinals of the FA Cup, and then of course
just
a generic Premier League game, which mattered, but generic Premier League game.
Yeah. The FA Cup, they didn't play their guys though.
No, they did.
From what I saw, they weren't playing like.
But it's City, like their A lineup.
Their depth. They have depth. Anyways.
16 guys.
Yeah, their depth.
I hope City wins. I don't want to see Chelsea win, even though there's an American in Pulisic on that team. But I do want to see. I want to see Pep win a Champions League. I want to see City win one. It's their first time they're going to the Champions League final. I obviously would like to see them win, because I can't stand Chelsea. And they're an up and coming team anyway. This city's kind of generation of players is kind of
coming to an end, getting
fading.
old.
Yeah, they're going to start retooling around De Bruyne and Kun Aguero. I'm a big fan of Kun Aguero.
He's gone.
He's just signed with Barcelona next year, so he's going to be gone. I would like to see him get that last, trophy with City that he possibly could to kind of cement his status as a City legend. And so it'll be interesting. Thomas Tuchel has Pep Guardiola's, like I just mentioned, has his number. Last two matches at least. And so just a couple notes here. City will be as the 9th different English team to reach a European Cup, UEFA Champions League final. At least 3 more than any other nation. Germany and Italy have 6, which is insane. So that just shows you the Premier League and English football is just like top tier with the diversity that in terms of teams they're sending to, a European League final.
Within 2 of the last 3 years, you have two English teams in the finals.
Yeah, I was just going to say my other point here. It's the 3rd team in a row running a team into a league final, whether it be UEFA, the Europa League, or the Champions League final. It's first time, 3rd year in a row, first time entrant. So like Tottenham in 2019, PSG in 2020, obviously City this year. So I thought that was pretty interesting, which is kind of why I want to see City win. I kind of want to, I think I love Champions League. We had talked about the Super League and a month ago or so, whenever they tried to bring that shit up. So I think a new team winning, even though they're, fucking stacked with cash, I think City winning it would provide like a different kind of franchise and organization winning it, other than Chelsea has already claimed this trophy before, even though it's a while back. But I am pulling for City. Hopefully it's a good game if you're in San Diego, or if you're not, Hot Chicks Only, Bluefoot Bar at noon. So I will be there.
I love that, Hot Chicks Only. That's really great. That's like when Kyle Miche used to say before a shotgun, to be like, to Cobras and condoms, 2 things I don't fuck with, and you'd shotgun a beer. That's just a great line. That's such a great bro line. Every once in a while, that's a bro line Hall of Fame. Hot Chicks Only in that kind of way. I love that.
Well, everyone should think they're a hot chick, right?
There you go. We're an empowering podcast. Hey,
yeah,
we think you're hot. You're hot.
Yeah,
I think you're hot.
I do want to mention one thing before we sign off here. The Europa League final, Villarreal beat United.
That's
the
5.
Other Manchester team. It took like 11 penalty kicks to get to the winner here, but I just wanted to kind of give my give this time to Unai Emery and say, what a fucking stud. Unai Emery is a monster. This guy owns Europa League. He's won it 3 times with Sevilla. After Sevilla, he got a job at PSG. Didn't really do much there. Well, I shouldn't say that. He did a fuckload there. But and I'll read his little resume here. With PSG, he won a Liga 1 title, Copa de France two times. 2 times Copa de la Ligas, 2-time Trophy de Champion. He won a domestic quadruple in his 2nd season, which is fucking insane. And then he got the job at Arsenal, and that's when his career kind of started going downhill, because the Premier League is just, success hungry. Then he made his way over to Villarreal after leaving Arsenal, and he won Europa League for a 4th time. And he's taken PSG to that final. They didn't win it, obviously, or Arsenal didn't win it. But the man just masters the Europa League. Obviously, It's not as good as Champions League, but it's still an honorable trophy.
It really is an honorable trophy, which is interesting to me, because it's only like 10 years old, 11 years old.
Yeah, and so I'm a big fan of Unai Emery. He's a Valencian legend. He coached at Valencia for a couple of years, and I just wanted to say he's the fucking man.
It's always the best.
I was just going to say, I hope he gets a big club, whether if he stays at Villarreal or if another big club comes calling. I think he's just a really good coach, and when fans aren't assholes to him, he does the job.
It's always the best when a legend comes back to your home club and coaches it. Like,
Yeah.
It's a feeling like, you know, Zinadan's gone, obviously. Thoughts and prayers to like my guy. It's the only reason I love Real Madrid as much as I do. So it's like unfortunate that he is leaving, and I don't know, you know, maybe he goes to PSG or probably doesn't, you know, manage it all. But you know, that's some good stuff. Also, on happening this weekend, we got the Mayor of Easttown series finale, dude. We got Kate Winslet's gonna hit the fuck out of that vape. Everybody should watch that, catch up on that. You got Cruella and Quiet Place 2 coming out on VOD. That's video on demand.
Yeah.
And then the Giants versus the Dodgers for the first time this year. So
No. Second time.
no, first time.
No. Oh no, I know what you mean.
Yeah, no. So first time this year.
It'll be a good
Dodgers.
first series to see like how what Giants team shows up this weekend. But
it'll be super fun.
If it's the Giants team that played last weekend, I'm really excited for it.
I was in Mexico, John. So,
yeah.
I don't know. Did something happen last week? I was celebrating love.
Something took place, but we'll talk
I was
about
celebrating love. Shout out to the Baccarizos who got married in Mexico. I love you both. And I think that's it, right?
Yeah, I think that's everything. We'll see you guys, I guess, Sunday. New ep coming out then. Subscribe, rate 5 stars, write a review, do the whole song and dance. I'm gonna keep saying it. So you might as well just fucking do it, and then send it to somebody else. Send it to somebody else so they do it. You got a long weekend to do it. Happy Memorial Day.
Yeah, pass it on. Start a chain. Just say, hey, sub to this and pass it on. Do that. See what happens, and then that'll be great. Follow us on subscribe on the YouTube channel, First Team Second String. Click the bell for notifications. That would be sick as fuck if you did that. I think you're pretty cool. If you don't,
we're watching you.
Yeah, if you don't, like, it's kind of lame, dude.
Unfollow.
If you do that shit, that's like showing up to a party without bringing booze.
Oh, don't be that person.
And don't be that guy. Don't be that girl either. Shout out to the international peeps. Also, follow us on Instagram and TikTok and all that fun stuff. First Team Second String
and OnlyFans.
Yeah, we'll get one. We'll get one exclusive.
Yeah. This hoodie comes off. Just saying.
Yeah, well, follow us on OnlyFans. It's only $100 a month.
It's just me getting a haircut.
Yeah, it's it's really cool stuff. And thank you for listening. And I hope you enjoyed the show.